I'm Jeremy Greer.
And I'm Gary Butterfield.
And this is Days of Future Cast, the podcast that covers X-Men crossover events. Gary, are you strapped in for this one, man? This is going to be a long run. Like, I haven't really done the math, but this is going to be like, what, 4 goes into 70, how many times? A bunch? It's going to be like 20 episodes of stuff.
Yeah, so it would be 10, almost doubled. So it's going to be 30 or 15, 25. No. 17
episodes.
Sessions. Yeah, 17 sessions of this, each of which is 2 weeks apiece. So we're looking at, if we do the whole thing, we're looking at 34 weeks.
No. Wait. It'd be 17 episodes, right? Oh, no, you're right. 17 sessions. So, okay. So 70 episodes.
It's going to be 70 issues. Yeah.
Why is this so complicated?
17...
What did we do?
Because we're idiots. Like, it's because all of that stuff about how you'll use math every day wasn't true up until this exact moment. Like, my math teacher should have said, maybe you'll start a podcast where you cover the AVX crossover. You record 4 podcasts in a session that come out 2 a week. Once every 2 weeks on a Patreon feed. Don't worry, I'll tell you what that is. And you're going to cover a 70-issue crossover. How many sessions?
I'm just imagining young Gary going, excuse me, wait, you lost me at AVX. Avengers are going to fight the X-Men? Are you serious?
Dude.
What is going to set that off? They're not like friends, but there's what is going on? Just get really intense about it.
Lose my mind. Like, run into the lunchroom. Hey, guys.
I don't want this to sound like insulting to anybody or anything, but I kind of hang out in a Discord server that is mostly dedicated to like tracking Elden Ring progress.
Okay.
And I've been a little bit more active in the server, and so I've been like just kind of like lurking in the Elden Ring channel, watching people get like crazy excited and then immediately super depressed as like leaks get leaked and then immediately disproven or what have you. And I super appreciate like that people. That's what people like to do, but like it makes me think of like at the end of the Ultimate X-Men where like Beast is dead, right? Like I just like imagine going online and like Brett's like, oh my god, they killed Hank McCoy in issue 4. What are we gonna do? Yeah. Oh my god, what does this mean? And like waiting for a month and then like, oh, okay, so it's cool now. Like I don't know why my head went to that and conflating those two things, but there I am.
Well, I mean, for me, like, there's nothing's being announced with Elden Ring. Like, I no hate in my heart for anybody who's way into that. Like some friends of the show, and
that's the guy's Discord server I'm talking about. So
yeah, like like no hate in my heart at all. But like, there's no news.
Yeah,
like it's so like somebody on Twitter, I was like, "What are your predictions for Elden Ring?" I'm like, I don't know anything, and neither do you. It's very like I understand this is a hobby for you, and it's like fun. It's fun to do guesses and stuff, but man, I just I don't have anything for you.
Yeah.
And for me, like it's one of those things too where it's like, again, no judgment, but it's super not fun for me, in engaging in that stuff, because if I'm right, I don't want to be. I want to be surprised. And if I'm wrong, it feels like a bad use of time. So like, I'm really looking forward to that game coming out, but it'll come out when it comes out and I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Is kind of how I feel about it. Lots of games I like.
I don't remember what my original point was to relate this to comics whatsoever, but like,
the idea that like every single time it's like a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like everyone pops in like, guys,
you'll never believe what happened in the last episode.
We already are skipping one thing that's considered part of the reading order for this, which was called like Marvel Now .1, which I read. It's a bunch of short stories, one of which sets up Cable coming back. I didn't really realize Cable was dead. You don't really need to know that he was dead. We learn everything through this comic, X-Sanction. But he came back and Forge fixed him.
Yeah.
So saved you a click on that one.
Yeah. And Gary like told me that. And I was like, well, I'll probably just read it, even though we're not going to cover it. I'll just want to see the context. I downloaded it. It was 52 pages, and I got to page 2, and I was like, I'm just going to read the 2 issues that we like. I don't have 50 pages of this in me, so I skipped it entirely. So,
yeah.
Yay, Cable is back, and he's here to kill the Avengers, apparently.
Yeah. We got a new creative team we haven't talked about on anything before. We got Jeff Loeb, who did the Ultimates 3 and has written a lot of really bad comics. Spoiler, like I generally like X-Sanction. I think it's a pretty fun action romp, like good fights.
Yeah.
You know, so he's in better form here. There's some of the dialogue I think is a little ropey, but he's, you know, I don't have a real problem with this. And then Ed McGuinness, who I think was most famous for doing Batman and Superman. Their comic when they were together, I think also with Jeff Loeb. And he draws everybody thick.
Yeah, I am not like a huge fan of the art in this one. Everyone's kind of, you say thick, but like everybody's kind of got this weird rounded kind of feel to them that
they're beveled.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're weirdly beveled in a way that just like everybody just looks, even Iron Man, like he looks curvy. How do you make Iron Man curvy? Like,
I love my thick Iron Man. I love my curvy Iron Man.
I love my thick Tony Stark.
Yeah. It's an acquired taste. Like I generally like, when I am reading superhero comics for characters to be drawn bulkier. You know, like I don't like a lithe fuckboy image, you know, in general. But I agree that this is, you know, it's a thing. It's weird and roundy. This is also not my favorite work that I've seen by Ed McGuinness.
Okay.
I think he did. I think I might be confusing him, but I thought he was the artist for Mighty Avengers when that came out of like the new Avengers stuff, and I remember liking his art there. Quite a bit more, and that could have been a function of the colorist or inker, you know, because part of the roundedness of this definitely comes from the shading and the inking.
Yeah,
you know, where everything is a sphere and lit like a sphere.
But it's still a good comic, like as you mentioned. Like I had a good time reading these 2 issues. I actually tried to read ahead, but the internet got the best of me, so I could not, which was a disappointment. So let's get into it with the cover, which is Cable and Captain America fighting it out. They're holding hands, Gary.
They're holding wrists, holding each other's wrists.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
If you want to know just like a 1-page example of the roundedness, like I think you could just look at like the weird humpback that Cable has in this. He looks like he's wearing the turtle armor from Dark Souls 2. Like
this is Cable's big costume change is that he has this like gigantic back thing. Like he's like, it's like he used to wear Hope on his back instead of on his front.
Yeah.
It's like a reverse Bjorn. All the stuff we need to know about what's going on with Cable, we find out.
Yes. As we get into it.
You know, and we get a nice little setup page here. You know, Cable's our main character. He was supposed to protect his adopted daughter, Hope, you know, who was the mutant messiah. That was the first mutant born after M-Day. He sacrificed himself, but the job is not done. And we get right into it with this set of Avengers stopping a breakout, you know, from like a jailbreak from, not from the raft, it's from like it was a jet heading to the raft. You know? We got our Avengers set here. We got Spider-Man, Wolverine, Red Hulk, who I mentioned this last episode. I fucking loathe the Red Hulk. Lock and unload, Avengers. Like, shut up.
Yeah, dude, I didn't get much personality like through the 2 books that we read of the Red Hulk, and I kind of don't even know what his deal is. And you don't have to explain it. I don't really care. I don't think it matters just yet. But like, he just seems real stupid in this for some reason. Like, not Hulk stupid, but just like military bro stupid. I like
Hulk stupid.
Yeah, Hulk stupid's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was General Ross at one point. I don't think that might be who this one is, but he's real like, meat's back on the menu, boys.
Exactly.
You
yeah.
know? Lock and unload, Avengers. Like, man, talking Hulk is just not for me.
Yeah. So we get our first splash page of the Avengers fighting some kind of C-tier villains. We've got Laser and
Living
Laser and like some other dudes that don't really matter because this fight is pretty much just a distraction for now. And
it's a Whirlwind, Grim Reaper, and Radioactive Man.
There you go.
The dudes. It's just real quick. Like I rewatched Chernobyl. The idea of Radioactive Man being here now scares the shit out of me.
It's the scariest villain ever.
Everybody getting like, yeah, just like, oh my god, he's putting out 400 Roentgen per hour. Like, we're getting 4,000 chest X-rays a minute while we're here, Cap.
Jesus Christ,
we have to get out of here. We're gonna get leukemia in 5 years.
Oh man, that show is so fucking scary. This first couple of episodes, man, just terrifying.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's really scary, but it's very good.
I meant to read
They're called the Lethal Legion.
The Lethal Legion. Yeah, I meant to listen to the companion podcast to that, but I never got around to it. I need to get around to it.
You should. There's a book, like, I know recommendations are poison. The book Midnight in Chernobyl is incredible.
Okay.
Really, really good. Lots of added context. It's not, it works as a companion to the show, not a replacement.
Gotcha.
I listened to the audiobook and it was like absolutely riveting.
While the Avengers are fighting the lethal lackeys or whatever their name is, Cable is on the top of a building, kind of to the side, watching this whole thing. And he's going to be our narrator throughout all, if not most of this. He's talking about how soldiers, he's a soldier, and he's in a war, and war requires sacrifice. And then he shoots Falcon. It's so weird seeing Falcon in this and not MCU Falcon. It's so goofy that he has a literal
wings and an actual fucking bird.
Yeah, and my dude is cheeked up too. They show a butt shot. That dude is cheeked up. That guy has some.
Yeah, the roundness.
Yeah,
just really, really goes with that. Yeah, it is, and this is like this era of Captain America. Like, obviously, the Falcon isn't Captain America, but Captain America is using a gun.
Yeah,
that's the Captain America we're dealing with here. So Falcon has been shot. Captain America doesn't notice this. He knocks out Whirlwind, and then sees that Falcon is gone.
Yep.
He's been taken. He's in this alley. Crumbling. He's in bad shape, and Cable knocks him out and drags him into a manhole cover.
I really thought this was a trash can at first, and just thought he was just going to put Falcon in the trash can.
You're just another casualty. Recycle the Falcon.
As he takes Falcon down into the sewer.
Reduce, Red Wing, reuse, recycle.
He's thinking, of course, of Hope, because Hope is his daughter, quote unquote, but it's also kind of perceived to be the savior of mutant kind. The Hope thing is going to go on a bunch of dramatic twists and turns. It already has by this point. So I'm just going to kind of roll with it. I know just enough about the Hope stuff to get myself in trouble in terms of like continuity. So I'm just going to kind of roll with it throughout this thing. So
yeah, I don't actually know. Like, I know who she is, but I did not read any of these comics. I read the ones where she first showed up, and they went to go get her. And that's it. Yeah. Messiah complex.
The key thing to know here is that the reason everybody thought that he was dead is because he sacrificed himself to save her, and he's getting all maudlin about imagine the last face you ever see is your child watching you die. Like, okay, Cable.
Yeah.
Like, just dial it down a little bit, Josh Groban. We get it.
Yeah. When this we do these time slides in this where they're kind of like flashes forward to the future where he's at before he came here. When he sacrificed himself, he blew up his arm, so he's got this little like baby T-Rex arm. That's the thing that Forge fixes here, and he's all burnt, and the techno-organic virus is encroaching on him. For people who don't know, like, Cable has this virus. It takes most of his power to keep it away, keep it in check. That's what makes him a cyborg. That's why X-Man from Age of Apocalypse is incredibly powerful, is because he doesn't have to use his power to keep his virus in check.
Yep. We time slide back to now, where Red Wing has led Captain America to a giant cargo ship, where Cable has put Falcon into what he later calls a Weapon X tank.
Bath.
Yeah, a nutrient bath.
Yeah.
And as soon as Captain America sees this, he of course goes to free it, and that's when Cable reveals himself and is like, "Hey, yo, that whole thing is loaded with C4. You don't need to touch that, and it will just kill us all." And he's like, when we finally get like the full profile of Cable, the dude looks unwell. He's got little
he's down bad with the virus.
He's got little virus squirts coming out of his arm. I don't know what else to call them besides little tiny squirts. I'm sure they're not wet, but I don't know what else to say. I'm in too deep, Gary. Pull me out.
It's protean, like it's moving around. I hear. I really wonder if going through the sewer was the easiest way to get to the ship.
I mean, sure.
Regardless of which, it is Cable as, like, I like this version of Cable, like the 12 step ahead, like almost Batman, like figure, like military Batman.
I also like that Cable has a little X on his gun. It's a very cute Cable.
Yeah, so you know who he is. And these people are not enemies. like Captain America and Cable were never buddies, but Captain America knows like, hey, you hang out with my friends and stuff. And he's trying to reason with him. Like, I can see that you're in pain. Like, we're going to get you help. And I like that he says this because like, whenever heroes fight you in the Avengers, like how many fucking Morgan Le Fay's mind controlling people do you have to run into before you like guess that maybe the good guy is not turned bad?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a Skrull. This is mind control. This is Weapon X. This is anything. This is Mastermind. This could be anything, and he tries to reason with him, and that was a mistake. Cable tries to shoot him, and he barely gets his shield up.
Yep.
In time.
And of course, Cable has been studying Captain America, and the thing that's most important about studying Captain America is that you tell Captain America you've been studying Captain America. Very, very important.
Sure.
And he's saying like your focus is split because you're worried about Falcon, and you're worried about your friends, maybe even more for yourself. And of course, while this happens, like Captain America does the thing with the shield and hits him in the back of the head, and we're just in full on like fisticuffs now, which feels pretty good.
Yeah, these are fun fights.
Yeah.
Like regardless of the individual art style in terms of roundiness, like they're fun superpower fights.
Yeah. Cable unleashes a beam of light, I guess, or like an attack.
Psi blast.
A psi blast.
It's a TK blast.
And it takes a whole lot out of him to the point that even though he's got the upper hand on Captain America, he can't maintain it. He literally just like the technovirus just like fucks with him, and he can't hang.
Yeah, but he's picked up Captain America's shield, which Captain America dropped. He drops his gun, in pain, and Captain America grabs it and shoots at him. So we get this little reversal with Cap trying to shoot Cable and Cable using his shield. And Cap is still trying to like, hey, surrender. He uses up all the bullets in his future gun. Cable throws a shield back at him and buries in the wall. He uses his cyber arm, so he's very strong.
Of course.
He misses, but it gets stuck in the wall. We get a little bit of like dumb Jeff Loeb dialogue where he goes, "You'll regret that move."
Okay, Jeff.
Like people say stupid shit in this comic, no doubt. But I like this little bit of like disabling Captain America by putting his shield so far in the wall that like, he to get his shield, to get his weapon, he's going to have to, take it off. It's like almost like he's playing a video game boss fight. Where the guy throws his weapon and you have to dodge and then hit him in the back while he's pulling it out of the wall.
It's very, very similar to that. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Captain America this whole time is like, why are you doing this? And we jump into the future where Cable, in this future world that he has been zapped to after sacrificing himself for hope, meets up with the blacksmith, who I have no reference or context for whatsoever. Don't remember anything about the blacksmith.
This dude was around during the 90s, during Cable shit in the 90s. He's supposed to be like a wise Kung Fu sensei kind of character. Okay. But they gave him this design where he looks like a basilisk from Dark Souls had big eyelids.
Sure. Okay.
Like, his eyes are huge. Like he has these huge fucking gonads on his face. But within those gonads, there's just little tiny slits for him to look out of.
Very weird.
I've always thought, I always said it was Blake Smith, but I think you're probably right. Like it's probably Blacksmith. Spelled differently.
I know a couple of Blake Smiths. I don't think they have weird time jumping powers. So.
It'd be very funny to have this guy check into a hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Smith.
Excuse me. I think you mean black. It's like, no, I don't think I do.
Yeah. Like, actually, I'm Asian Pacific Islander if you look at my driver's license. So all of Cable, like I like Cable, all of Cable's supporting cast fucking suck. Like Tyler, Blacksmith, the Ascani, like all this shit is horrible. Yeah. I think it's the most boring stuff in the world. But he's basically, they're in this future, in this apocalypse. It's incredibly cold. This happened because he failed. He sacrificed himself to save Hope, but something changed in the past. Yep. And he's like, hey, what I do is I time travel and fix things. What happened, I can still save it. And he says the world can't be saved. Hope wasn't there to save it. Even though you sacrifice yourself, you failed, she dies, and she can't fix everything.
Yep. And then we get this page, which is separated into 4 panels, 2 of which are now and 2 of which are in the far future. In the now, he is got Captain America chained to what very much looks like Xavier's wheelchair, and we find out it was designed by Magneto to use against Xavier, and that it actively like gets inside your head the more that you would fight it. It's an inhibitor chair.
Yeah. So if you resist it, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
You know, in the future, he's saying like, hey, you know, I'm dying from this virus. I know that, but I'm going to save Hope. Tell me who hurt her. You know, give me their names. I want to know who's responsible.
And most importantly, we found out that the technovirus is going to probably kill him within 24 hours. So that's why we're on rush mode right now.
We got a ticking clock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we go back. He's like, this is my last war. It's the one worth dying for. And we go back and he was told the Avengers. You know? So he's going back in time to kill the Avengers. That's that's our premise.
And he holds a gun to Captain America's head, and the last panel is blam. And Gary, they killed Captain America. Oh my God! Can you believe it?
Rush to the forum. This is again like this is definitively like not super high art or anything. This is like a thankless task. I feel like, you know, because Cable doing this is going to turn out to be important. The ending of this is actually really interesting.
Yeah.
The miniseries. Up until that point, though, it's just 4 issues of fights. So it's kind of like, oh, we had to have Cable try to do this to set events off into motion. You know, so it's very perfunctory, but I think the creators did the best they could with it. And it is fun to see these matchups. You know, like if you have any part of you that likes comics that's just like, yeah, I want to watch, you know, men in underwear run around and punch each other. This is fun.
Yeah,
I think
this is good. And especially like, I don't remember Cable and Captain America really even being in the same panel before this. So like having them interact and having this weird stuff start happening is kind of cool. I dig it. Yeah.
I also have some affection for Cable.
Yeah,
like, I like Cable.
Yeah.
We talked about that when we talked about Deadpool 2. I think that version of Cable is really incredible.
Dude, I cannot just bring him into the MCU like whole cloth. Like this could be so fucking good if they do that.
He's so weird because he's played by Josh Brolin.
Who cares? I don't care.
Thanos, but yeah, but also Thanos is dead.
Yeah, who cares?
You know, so like you know he can play whatever now.
Have
Josh Brolin play all the Avengers.
I'm fine. But make Josh Brolin. I mean, we need a Falcon now, right? So make
Josh Brolin Falcon, this big heavy dude, old guy, just like flying around really slow.
Also, I definitely called
helicopter on his back.
I definitely called Cable Josh Groban earlier, and I meant Josh Brolin. So thank you for not calling me on that.
You were just teasing him about his, you know, him being poetic or whatever.
Nope. I just got the two names confused, which is very funny to me.
They're pretty different dudes.
Oh yeah. Cable? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Cable and Josh Brolin. I understand one's an actor and one's a character. So that's it for this issue. We're going to be back next time with X-Sanction 2, where he fights Iron Man. If you like the show, head on over to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and give us some bucks.
Please do.
$3 gets you the Slack. You can get early episodes. You get whole bonus shows. You support your boys. You can request things that we cover for other shows. We don't play that on this show. And you can also leave us ratings, reviews, and tell your friends. Yeah, please do all of that stuff. It'd be great. Specifically telling your friends, because it goes a long way to increasing the reach of the podcast so they can hear my Josh Groban jokes. Yeah, we'll be back in a couple of days with more X-Sanction.